Welcome to the Regular Joe's podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
I'm Todd Pleasant.
And I'm Brian Mix.
Brian's here.
Brian's
Brian.
back.
Fresh from Disney World.
48
You
hours
could pretty
away.
much say that any day. Really?
You could.
Yeah.
You really could say that any day.
Pretty much. You'd be probably not far off if you did.
And there was a time we could have said fresh from Disney Worlds. You went to two in one day, right?
I did go to two in one day, yeah.
On
Different
opposite sides of the
continents?
planet.
Yeah, Shanghai and California in the same day. Yeah.
That's
8
awesome.
a.m. and 8 p.m. because of the you get a day back when you fly back.
That's like Phil Collins playing drums at Live Aid on two continents in the same show.
Yeah.
I think that's better. Those are
Yeah.
Yeah, because you didn't have to fly on the Concorde.
Yeah.
awesome. And happy Star Wars Day. It's May the 4th as we record this. So May
Yes,
the
it
4th
is.
be with you, everybody.
May the 4th be with you.
It's obviously May the 7th or whatever when you listen to this, sort of, or way in the future. I don't know.
Could be in the
Right?
future.
I was
but
just going to say.
Could be August.
Yeah.
you should know we're in, some of us at least are in a Star Wars frame of mind today.
Yes.
As it is
If you're
May the
listening to
4th.
this way in the future, it's still crappy here. So in the past,
In the past.
wear your mask. Don't listen to Tucker Carlson, that jerk off who should be in jail, let alone on television. But anyway, lots of stuff to cover. I think last week we were on the rambling show that was last week. We were gonna cover For All Mankind, but we are going to cover that this week.
I did get a compliment, by the way, from a friend of mine who listens saying that he enjoyed last week's show. So,
Oh,
there you go.
it was good. I thought it was very sort of flowy, but it
Yeah.
just got away from us a little bit.
Yeah, that is what it
That's
did.
when it's
yes.
good.
That is what it did.
We need
you're in the
that.
zone. Yeah.
And we also have a special show and tell, something from your childhood. I guess I have my box,
Which is like everything in the room Dave's in, but we'll give him a pass on that.
I have a lot of stuff still from when I was a child, and most of it's up in the attic.
Let me just go on record, and we'll I know we'll do this segment later, but I'm out now because I have two things from my childhood, and I've talked about one of them already. So tonight's the last one. I can't do it anymore.
Oh, that's sad.
We'll get
I have
there.
a box full of crazy stuff.
I know you do.
Again,
You'll
this
to
might
give me
have to
some
be
of yours.
might have to be a segment where we go get drinks while Dave talks about the
Yeah,
things he's
exactly.
I literally have
curated
three
from his
things
childhood.
here, but
Yeah.
If we
you know.
wanted to turn this podcast into a drinking game, every time Dave says this is from my childhood, you take a shot.
It's true. It's true.
Dave reminded me that when I went away to college, my parents separated. That's the bad part of the story. The good part of the story is
I was just going to say,
they-
wow,
they-
was that the trigger?
when they moved out of the house,
Yep.
they took my junk drawer, turned it upside down in a box, and put Brian's junk drawer on it. And that box, I've just left it. It's been following me all
That
these
is the
years.
same
all
box
over
I
the-
have.
Yeah, same box. I've got this box of stuff from.
Yeah, I envy that because I would love to be able to just like 30 years later go back through it and question what half of it was and why. But
there's some weird. We should just take the box out and we go through everything
through
in
it.
it one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some weird newer stuff in there too. That's
when we run out of ideas, we're gonna do the Dave's junk
what are
drawer
we gonna
box.
we gonna go in the past to 100 episodes ago?
It's like, that's good.
Okay, but let's go random. Brian, what do you got for random?
I have got. Let me see if I can.
You're pulling a
If I can
Todd by not
if I can
talking
pronounce
into
your
the
name
microphone.
on Star Trek Day, on Star Wars Day, I'm gonna have a Star Trek.
There should be a Star Trek Day.
There is.
There is.
First
Oh,
contact
Barry's
day.
Barry's
First
already-
contact. But no one
Barry's
knows what
already,
day that is.
Dismissed it as a
I said
May
earlier today because somebody was on our Facebook page for the show was wishing us a May the 4th, and I said that it is May the 4th is my favorite made up sci-fi themed holiday because there's three. There's
Aliens
Star Trek
Day?
Day, there's Aliens Day, and there's Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, Brian.
Anyway, they're shooting episode 2 of Strange New Worlds right now, directed by Maha Virilio. Hard to pronounce her name. She directed Picard's and she directed some Discoveries. And I'll text you guys. She put up a picture of the clapboard today.
Oh,
when she was working on it. But the thing that blew me away was it's scene 228. It's an hour show. How do they have 228 scenes? I don't know.
They could number them
It's episode 2. So
episode
scene
2,
28.
scene 28.
Yeah,
They could do that
That's probably what it is.
because they probably shoot. I bet they shoot
Out of
320, 580,
Right.
or whatever,
Oh, okay.
all in the same place.
Well, what happens if you have over 100 scenes in a shoot? You can't roll over to 3 because that would be the third episode.
Hundreds a lot. I don't think
Hundreds
they
a
would.
lot. Okay.
Hundreds a lot.
I'll text you. What's fun about it is the box that she threw the thing in is obviously one of the grips boxes, the grip box, and it's got a Martian sticker on it from Expanse.
Oh,
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
that is cool.
Anyway,
Do,
so they're shooting. It's coming. Can't wait.
Discovery. Discovery's coming in November. Don't ask me how I
Yay.
know that. I'm not allowed to say.
So excited.
Maybe it'll be
can't
good.
wait.
Okay, Todd. Todd. What do you got?
Okay. So, in a bizarre move, the state of Massachusetts today decided to recognize May the 4th. So
It's an actual holiday.
all of the digital road signs on the highways were modified for
Oh my goodness.
May the 4th. So this is the first. This is speed is a path to the dark side.
Oh, that's great.
Kessel in 12 parsecs is too fast. Drive safely.
That's a great one.
Trust the force and wear your seatbelt.
Those are cool.
Okay. Only a Sith litters. Keep mass clean.
Oh, that's awesome.
I hope that
Okay.
spreads across the country. That's a great idea.
Wookiees hate litter. Don't upset a Wookiee.
Not wise to upset a Wookiee.
And my absolute favorite, there is no try. Wear a seatbelt, you will.
Oh, that's awesome.
Those are great.
I was stunned. People have been telling me about this all day. And they posted them all online, and I will put them up on the website, which is actually caught up this week. And but yeah, very, 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 very cool. So yeah. So
That's great.
Dave, what do you got?
I do recognize Massachusetts now. This is something that a couple of years ago we would have been excited about, but I don't know if we are anymore. So they announced, and we may have talked about this, there is a Green Lantern show coming to HBO Max from the Berlanti universe. I think it's in production. And the Berlanti universe used to come with just feelings of happiness and joy, and now it's like, oh God, do I gotta watch another one of these shows?
It will be interesting
Okay,
to see. I
it'll be good
know
for
the
a
guy
season.
who they cast is Guy Gardner, and Guy Gardner is basically the asshole Lantern. Okay, and he's perfect. This guy's perfect. So it's yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't know when it's coming, but it's interesting that it's going on Max as opposed to, CW, I guess.
That either means that they feel really good about it or maybe not quite so good about it.
There's rumors that Pennyworth, which is I really
That
like,
is
and,
true.
and no other person's watching it, is moving over there.
I watched season 1. Yeah.
It's season 1. Season 2
It's
just
going
wrapped
to
up. I'm
Max for
halfway through.
season 3.
Yeah, that's what people
Yeah.
are saying, and it's actually a really good show. So I enjoy it, and hopefully it'll get a bigger audience, and that would seem the thing, and people won't have to try to remember whether they subscribe to ePix or not. So
Or
Epics.
Epics.
or yeah, it's available both places apparently. So
Yeah. But honestly, I don't think I think it's the opposite of what you are saying, Barry, because the HBO Max is the most important thing
Yeah,
to Warner
no, I know
Media
that.
right now, by far, from
Yeah.
everything they're saying. So maybe they're going to put a lot
Well,
into
and the
this.
fact that they're they'll probably, when they move the third season of Pennyworth, they'll probably move the first 2 seasons along with it. And,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
people
that's
will
the-
actually
No,
see
I was
it.
That's
talking
what
about
people are
Green
saying.
Lantern.
No, I know,
I was
but I'm
talking
just
about Green
responding.
Lantern.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
now people will actually have an opportunity to actually watch it because
Right.
nobody gets Epics
Yeah.
Yep.
or ePix.
I don't know either. All right,
All
what do you
right,
got?
a
Barry?
couple quick things. I read this over the weekend and I was kind of surprised.
All right, let me
Yeah, go ahead. Now they're all going to be quick. None of these are discussions. So a couple years back, they made the Predator reboot, and that was the one that had what's her name in it? The girl we like.
It's a lot of them.
She was
Just gonna say
Olivia
Munn. Thank you. Yeah.
Was she in it?
I was going to start with Haley Atwell and work down the line.
Is this the Adrian Brody one?
I don't know. I just remember they.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. And you said it was going to be.
Right, no, the point is they had an original plot line in that movie that was going to have Ripley and Newt that was actually going to tie the Aliens and Predator universes together on screen, and then they ultimately scrapped it. But they actually had it written, and it was part of the script. And because one of the actors was talking about that they had the scene and that they were, very close to shooting it. I thought it was interesting. It was Ripley and a grown up Newt. Who knows? Just thought it was interesting.
Because that's where you rewrite the history of a franchise in a different franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But there have been a bunch of Alien versus Predator movies, so I guess they were trying to force them together.
Right.
Ridley Scott probably squashed it, but
and we trust him these days.
And then made a bunch of other shitty Alien movies. So, second thing, and it goes back to Star Wars Day. On Disney Plus today, they dropped a Simpsons short called "The Force Awakens from Its Nap." I watched that.
Oh, that was a real thing.
It's a real thing, and you got to be a Simpsons fan. But I thought it was hilarious. So it's like 4 minutes long. Definitely worth watching. A ton of Star Wars references crammed into a 4-minute short, but I thought it was a lot of fun. So, and then I thought I would share with you, I had an incident with my airbrush, which I will say probably not a good idea to take it apart and clean it over a sink, but there's this tiny little thumb screw that holds the needle in place, and that went straight down my drain.
Oh,
unrecoverable. So
it may be in the trap.
I couldn't get I didn't open the trap, but
it could be. It could sit at the bottom of the trap.
It might be there, but it's pretty light.
Yeah.
So it is called a needle nut chuck. I know that now because I found that and I ordered a new one.
That was a sexual position.
Yeah, exactly. So word to the wise for anybody out there with an airbrush. I know Jim Bush, you recently got one. Don't rip the thing apart over a sink with the drain plug not put down. So
I always clean mine over a bucket of acetone, so it's never a problem.
Yeah, no, this was thankfully my spare airbrush, which is not a very good airbrush, but the piece fit from that one onto my good one, so I'm using that in the meantime. But I ordered a new piece, so tragedy averted. But when it went boop straight down, I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
I had it's like that reminds me I was doing like an odd job years ago doing some handyman. What?
Nothing. Continue.
You said odd job. He thought you said something else.
No, that's not it.
You sure he wasn't doing random task?
Yeah, that's right.
I was not doing random task. Anyway, so it was literally like going into these people's offices at night and building a bunch of stuff. I built shelves. I put some air conditioning things in, blah, 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 blah. So they gave me these keys, which included a key to the elevator. And they're like, you have to leave this key in this certain place because it's the only one we have, blah, blah, blah. Don't lose these keys. I literally dropped them and they dropped down the elevator shaft in between the little space in between the floor.
Oh, yeah. Everything falls in that space.
That was not good. Not good. And I just watched them and then it literally, I don't even think it hit the sides. That was so perfectly positioned to drop down.
Best shot of your life.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway. Okay. Any other random? We're running short.
Okay. So, I will just say quickly because I love you guys. I am recording with you right now instead of listening to Project Hail Mary from Andy Weir, which dropped today. So, yes.
Oh, Dave's got a hard copy.
I have an actual book.
Okay.
Physical
I figured I'd read it. Who reads it? Is it the same guy?
Same guy.
No?
Yep.
But he didn't read the last one, right?
He did. Well, no, he did not.
No, that was Rosario Dawson.
Ahsoka Tano read the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this has nothing to do with either of those stories, right?
I can't see anything. It's all blurry.
I was just playing the dedication.
Oh, here. How's that? See? How's that?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. I look forward to reading this.
I'm going to need a copy of that. I'm going to have to track a copy of that down. Definitely want to listen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I read Artemis.
Rosario Dawson did a pretty good job reading.
She did a
Artemis.
pretty good job.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the story. I think there's some massive holes in it, but it's
Artemis. I enjoyed it, but it was
it was good on its own merits. It's hard to come off The Martian with and
The difficult second album.
Yeah.
it is. But also the whole like let's almost kill everyone on the moon, and then afterwards all is forgiven because you sort of fixed your problem.
yeah.
Isn't that the way life works, Todd?
No, not like this, really.
For millennials, think it is.
Yeah.
Sorry if there are any millennials out there. I just insulted.
This was like a movie a movie ending in this book, and that was when I was like,
Aren't they making that?
no, she
into
would
a
leave in
movie?
handcuffs. Okay, seriously, she would leave in handcuffs, and yeah, that one. But
This is what his third book, right? This is only
this is the third. The other things are short stories. And,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, interesting. Yeah, I look forward to that. Okay, we're gonna do a Hot Toys minute.
Regular Joe's Hot Toys Minute.
I have no freaking idea what time it is.
It's 9:19.
I know. I don't know when we started though.
That's okay. All right, Hot Toys Minute. So we're gonna do Hot Toys, but we're gonna do some other things first. So it's just almost more of a Star Wars Day minute. Let's just call it that for whatever. So Sideshow Collectibles announced 2 new 12-inch figures, an Anakin Skywalker and an Obi-Wan in the complete Clone Wars animation style. Usually when they make these things, they make them lifelike or as lifelike as they can make them. But they went for the marionette wooden hair doesn't move
That's
style.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there are people that are huge fans of that style. So good that they're getting something because up till this point, there really hasn't been much for them. Everything's been kind of tried to make it more realistic. So they're cool. I think there's an audience for them. So
I got to tell you, I'm tempted. I really am. I know some people aren't big fans of this stuff, but I love that show. I would consider that Obi-Wan. I've spent so much time with that Obi-Wan that
it's cool. It is cool. So the next thing I want to mention, and this ties to our friend Brian, who just got back from Disney, but Disney today released a 2-pack of lightsabers. They made 3,000 of them, and they sold out online immediately. But it was Princess Leia's saber from The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, you're kidding me.
And Rey's saber from The Rise of Skywalker, an alternate version than the one that they've already had out, different weathering.
How did I not hear about this?
Only in a 2-pack, and it sold out very fast.
Was Leia's saber available before?
No, this is the first time they've made it available.
So, but the reforged
the reforged one has been, but I think this looked like it was slightly different coloring and maybe some different weathering. But yeah, and my friend Mike was upset that he couldn't get one. I don't think they would have tooled up that saber to only make it available for 3,000 people in a 2-pack.
No.
So you'll see that one.
How much was it?
I think it was around $400. $350, somewhere in that range.
Brian, they may have it at the Galaxy's Edge. You're going there Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be there Sunday.
I suspect that within a few months we'll see that saber available by itself. So that's a cool one, though. That's of all the potential ones they haven't made yet. That's definitely
the Leia
my
saber.
list.
The Leia saber is awesome.
You know, the thing that would have made the most sense is Rey's reforged saber and Rey's new saber. That would have been
but
cool,
she
and I
used
would have
both
been-
of those at the end of Rise of Skywalker to defeat Palpatine. She had one in each hand.
No, she didn't. She used. That wasn't the one she used.
Did.
Didn't she use?
I just rewatched
Ben's?
Ben didn't
What
have
was
his
the other-
saber. Ben lost his saber. She gave Ben Leia's saber.
Did she?
She goes to put it behind her back, and then through
Yeah,
there.
I know that, but
Yeah.
was that Leia's?
Yeah,
saber?
it was Leia's saber.
Wasn't Leia's green?
I don't remember the color.
We
Now
should
you're
know
gonna
better
make-
than this.
you're
This
making
is
me watch that
embarrassing.
again now.
I've only ever seen that movie
that won't
4
make me watch
times.
it again.
I watched it this past weekend.
It's
for the
good.
4th time.
It's not good.
It has a very good moments.
It's
But
I have to watch it in 4K on my
I will
computer
concede
so I
that.
can
There's,
stop
there are a
it.
few good
Pretty
moments in that movie, but it's a mess.
I would
enjoyed
say
it.
there's more than a few good. But that's an argument for another show.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. What saber is that other saber? I don't think it's Leia's. Maybe
I
I'm
could be
I
wrong,
don't-
but Luke gives
I
it to
don't
her
know.
just before she leaves Exegol. She goes, I'm sorry, she leaves whatever the hell planet he's on.
See, that's
She goes
part of the
back-
problem with that movie.
She goes to Exegol.
There's
and
only
she takes
30
it,
planets to choose from.
and she goes to Exegol with it. So one of the sabers she had with her was Leia's saber. The other one, I assume, was the
Okay,
reforged
maybe
saber.
I'm wrong. All right, I don't want to. Anyway, moving on.
All right, moving along. We won't spend a lot of time on this one, but our friends at Regal Robot also released some stuff today. They've released their holographic chest set.
Oh, I'm excited to get one of those.
Oh, I'm definitely getting one. Oh,
We
they're
were
sold out?
speculating, and we all agree it's an awesome thing, and it had a very high price point. And I think some of us, I speak for myself, I was questioning how quickly these might sell. They sold all 77 sets in an hour, so at $4,800 a set.
But they also have the 2-packs are still available. And
They
you
do
can-
have the
they're gonna
2-packs
sell
available,
as many as you.
and they're going to
get
keep
orders
those
for.
available for 45 days. So you can order all 8 chess pieces if you want to in 2-packs. And I think that comes out to about $3,600 if you do that. But
Wow.
so yeah, and I was surprised. I guess a lot of times when they put stuff up for sale, they have them like ready to go. But when I got my order confirmation today, it told me that I wasn't going to be getting the one I ordered until January to March of next year.
Oh, really?
I ordered 1 2-pack, the main one with the guy's body slamming the other guy.
Oh, you did.
Oh,
I
that's
did.
cool. Yeah.
So yeah,
So it's pretty much like a Hot Toys figure.
it's pretty much like ordering a Hot Toys figure, and it's pretty much like I sold 4 Hot Toys figures to pay for it. So
No, but what I'm saying is it's like a Hot Toys figure in that, like, oh, I'm so excited to wait.
yes, you order it now and you wait a year to get it. Pretty much like a Hot Toys figure.
Stuff takes time.
No, it does. It does. And
They also
don't
probably
rush
got to
it.
figure out how many they need to make too.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, that they've never done this before, where they've had an open edition for a set number of days, and however many orders they get, that's how many they're going to make. So
And you guys were saying that they're oversized to scale. They're not.
they are the scale
Yes.
from the puppets. They're 1-to-1 scale for the maquettes or puppets they use to do the stop motion. They're not 1-to-1 to what they would be like on a table.
Chessboard. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
At some point, we're getting to
yeah,
Hot
we're getting
Toys.
to Hot Toys right now. So they released a bunch of stuff today. Remember the creatures that they wrote on in season 1, the blurgs? Blurgs. They're releasing the original Mando figure that's already out, but him on riding the blurg. So you can buy him with the blurg, or you can also buy the blurg by itself if you already have Mando and just want to put him on it.
That's what's interesting, because I think all those Mandos are sold out, and now they're giving you another chance to get him, and you
Yeah.
can get it with the blur.
And I think it's good that they're selling the blurg by itself, because what they didn't put up for pre-order today, but they did announce on a Shy Show video, is a Queel figure. So if
that's
you want to
cool.
have Queel riding a blurg, you can buy him.
so. You need two
You need two
blurs.
blurs.
and
So
you
that
need-
would be the 22nd figure from this line.
Yes. Then they announced a Stormtrooper Commander from Mandalorian, which is basically a Stormtrooper with a orange pauldron on his shoulder. That's all it is. But that was an easy one for them to make. And then they announced 2 figures from Bad Batch, Echo and Hunter. I'm sure they're going to make the full Bad Batch.
I would imagine.
I think Echo went up for pre-sale today. Hunter was like Queel. They showed him in a video, but he's not up for sale yet. And then the last one, which I think is maybe the most interesting to me anyway, is Grogu by himself. Because right now the only way you've been able to get him is by buying another figure that he comes with. So it's a 3-pack of Grogu's in a 1/6 scale. It's him in the hover pram. Then it's him swaddled up in a baby blanket. And then the third one is him that you can like put in a box or whatever. Like it comes with this box.
Oh, you get 3.
You get 3
figures.
3 Grogu's.
I
didn't
totally
even
didn't get
realize
that. I
that.
thought that was like, I thought there was just like,
No, you get 3 versions, and then it comes with a lost cat and a little one-eyed frog as well. So there's a bunch of stuff in there.
I do like the Lost Cat. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's a very reasonable price point given the fact that you're getting a lot of small things.
That's actually very interesting, huh?
So
I didn't realize that there were 3 of them.
yeah, there's 3 of them.
Are you sure he doesn't? Wait,
I'm
are
positive.
you sure it's not one figure that goes in all those things?
I'm 100%
One
positive.
Grogu wrapped in a blanket, one Grogu with normal expression, one Grogu with mouth opened expression.
Yeah, I went to Sideshow's
Wow.
site and read the whole inventory of what's in the box, so I know it's 3.
Wait, that's a bargain.
Yeah, it's a good deal. I mean,
And you know
remember,
where you
he's
can get
really
all this
small.
stuff?
This freaking big.
Yeah, he's
Okay?
small,
Seriously.
but it is a bargain, and
You can
about
get
to
them
say,
all at
Dave?
Fanboy Collectibles.
You can get
All
them
of
all
this
at
stuff
Fanboy Collectibles.
is up
I
for
would say
pre-order.
by the pound, It's probably about what, with all the accessories, it's probably about the same price as a Mando figure.
I don't know. It retails, according to Fanboy's site, it retails for $139.99.
I'm saying all this stuff together probably weighs about half of what a Mando.
Oh yeah, but
yeah,
it's
that's
good.
what I'm saying. By the pound, it's probably about the same price.
Here's the thing, and I know we're starting a commercial, but I will just say, if you have the first Mando figure that didn't come with Grogu, now you can add Grogu.
You absolutely
to that
need it.
That's
So
the way to do it.
And you've been wanting for the blurred. Now you can
That's right. Now you got
complete
blurs.
your life.
so up for pre-order right now. That Grogu, the blurg with Mando, the blurg itself, that Echo dude. Not to mention, I think the Captain America from Captain America and the Winter Soldier, the Falcon Captain America, that's up for pre-order. A sideshow premium format Ahsoka, and a Michael Myers from Halloween. Why not? It's all there. Fanboy Collectibles, Pops, and sideshow, and it's let's just say it's Star Wars Day week. You deserve to buy yourself something.
Yes,
So,
you got to buy yourself something.
go there, check them out. They got everything you need. Plenty of Star Wars stuff. Check them out online, fanboycollectibles.com. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut. Tell them the Regular Joe sent you. Okay, plenty of stuff. Thank you, Barry.
I did not tell you guys in advance that I ordered that.
No, you did not.
I was waiting to see your reaction. Yeah, I wanted it from what I think I can say this now. I had Tom Spina and I talked months and months and months ago, and he told me these were coming. So I've wanted it since the first time he mentioned it to me, and he even showed me some preliminary pictures, and it was just, I've been so excited for it. I love that sequence. It's one of my favorite sequences in the whole first movie. So
I can't wait to see what they look like when you get them. That'll be
cool. All right. So Marvel news. This week they announced a bunch of dates for movies.
But they did it in a really, what I thought was a really awesome way. I don't know, did you guys watch that video? It made me excited to go back to the movies.
Yes,
It
really
was meant
does.
to do that.
And that is kind of the whole thing. Like, the universe is back. We've been waiting for you. Here it is. Think about this though. What studio has ever basically rolled out 10 movies, a schedule of 10 movies in a row like this before? I mean, this is
they've
incredible.
been good about doing that.
Oh, and nobody's ever had this many movies ready to go at one time before.
And then that is the other thing is the compression has really worked for them because they were going to be there's going to be a lot of spacing prior to the last year.
I wonder what's really done. So why don't we go down the list and then
are these in theaters or streaming or both or
at this point theaters?
Some of the earlier ones. Yeah, Black Widow we know is going to be
streaming and theaters.
That's
July.
Right. The rest of them, I think, we're being told are theaters only.
Something else happens.
Yeah.
But that's the only one.
That is my birthday present. I will see it I will find a place to see it on midnight on my birthday. So
there you go.
So that's July 9th. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings follows soon after on September 3rd. Eternals, which we just got the first real glimpse of in that. Still no clue what it is. November 5th. And then wrapping up this year on December 17th is Spider-Man No Way Home.
Did we know that date already?
I don't believe we did.
I'm surprised it's this year. That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Yep. And then going into 2022, March, we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. In July, Black Panther,
you missed one.
Forever.
You missed Thor.
Did I miss Thor? Oh.
So Doctor Strange is March 25th.
Yes. Yep. No, that for some reason on this list that's out of date. Yes. Thor is in May. May 6th, go
ahead, say the date.
May 6th, 2022.
On that one, I just read it. I read a headline yesterday. Somebody's saying, and I think it was somebody within Marvel, that may be the best Marvel movie that they've ever made, is in their minds. Like,
I read that too.
Yeah.
Is it filmed yet? How do they even know?
They are filming it. They've been filming it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Wakanda Forever is in July, which is
July
a new title.
8th, also on your birthday.
On my birthday. They got it right that time. that's going to be interesting because
That will be very interesting. They hadn't even announced this movie yet.
Well, they didn't say there was Black Panther 2 was already was tentatively on the schedule,
but they didn't give it a name up until this point.
Yeah,
exactly. And they've said that all of the remaining principal cast from the first film are back. So all the I guess basically it's female characters at this point, pretty much. And then so we'll see. Be really interesting to see where this goes from here. I think we're going to end up with a female Black Panther.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah. Then this is really interesting.
Maybe they could make Falcon, Captain America, Falcon, Black Panther. Just give him all of the titles.
Why not? And Thor, and then Iron Man. We need an Iron Man.
Yeah, he could
Might as well be Iron Man too.
He could be Iron Man also.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
Sorry, I derailed Todd. I broke his brain with that one.
No, I'm just I tell you who the next Iron Man is going to be, and it's of a theme. So then on November 11th, we get The Marvels, which was previously Captain Marvel 2. This is going to be, it seems like Camilla Khan, who is Ms. Marvel, who has her own series.
Which probably will be out by then.
It will be out
It'll
by
be
then.
set up in a series.
So set up in a series. And then also very likely Spectrum, who is the from Monica
Rambeau from WandaVision.
Yes. Yeah, because if you look at the
Spectrum
logo,
is her name.
I don't know where he got that from.
Okay, Spectrum is the name I've seen used a couple times. That was the character's name at one point in the comics. She was also Captain Marvel. So, in any case, when she was Spectrum, the logo she had is the logo that appears in the Marvel in the middle of the A right now. So that's probably some kind of a hint. Then that closes out the year. And then in 2023, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy is on May 5th, 2023, Guardians Volume 3. Then after that, we saw a Fantastic Four logo with no title,
timing.
But it is they're putting it out there.
Third time's a charm, maybe.
It's
fourth. It's fourth.
Are we counting Roger Corman? I'm saying
we're going to. We
have to.
I mean,
you have to.
Yeah. So yeah,
plenty of Marvel stuff coming out. So that's
there's
exciting.
no question.
That's very exciting.
So
and
if I could just ask you guys quick, what in this list are you most looking forward to? I know what I am, but it's actually pick two. Your first and second.
Black Widow, because we've been waiting for it forever.
Black Widow's number one on my list.
Me too.
I don't know. I mean, it's
Black
tough
Widow
because
and Doctor Strange.
That's
Doctor
where
Strange
I am.
is going to be a bunch of different people in it,
but it's also going to be heavy Scarlet Witch and so yeah.
I'm really excited about that one. But I think before that, I'm more excited about Spider-Man. Like Black Widow for sure.
Well, I agree.
It's
I mean,
hard.
they're all good, but except for the Eternals, I don't know what that's going to be. But I feel like of all these movies, Black Widow's going to be a Black Widow movie. Spider-Man's going to be a Spider-Man movie. I feel like the Doctor Strange is sort of going to be like the Civil War, where it's a ton of people. In it.
I do feel like Doctor Strange is what we know the least about. I guess Eternals we know the least about, but I mean,
but
I think
they said it's going to be like a horror movie almost. So
I think all bets are off. So
Sam Raimi's directing it, right?
You think we're going to go basically 2 years or a year and a half without seeing Captain America? He's going to show up in one of these. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I also feel like Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be one of those things with a bunch of people crammed in it.
That's where you may see Captain America show up.
It may be in its own thing where
it could very well be.
All the Spider-Mans and Spider-Man.
It is Sony, but they are working very closely now.
They are. But I'm saying just sticking to the Spider Universe, they got a lot they can do.
And Thor could have the Guardians in it too.
Oh, it will.
It said,
Yeah.
I think they said it will.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they'll all be all standalone until we get to Doctor Strange, and then it's going to be. Hey, you said what you want, but was I right about WandaVision?
Of course you weren't.
Of course you weren't.
Sure.
Nobody was right about WandaVision. I don't
No
know
one.
anybody that predicted what was going to happen in that
Speaking of which, they did say in a couple actually different statements that there was a plan at one point to have Doctor Strange appear in WandaVision.
I read that.
made sense.
And they just did not want to detract from the character.
Yeah, they
said
felt
that-
he was going to maybe upstage Wanda.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did
Moving
not
right
want the
along.
impression, as Kevin Feige said, they did not want the impression of the white man showing up and telling her how to do it right. So,
Okay.
Okay.
good to at least be that on the ball. So,
He's woke.
No mansplaining magic.
Okay, now 2 weeks in the making for All Mankind. If you haven't seen it, you should see it. And if
And
you
we
haven't
warned
watched
you.
the first or second season, do yourself go buy a new iPhone and get a free thing and watch it, or maybe pay $5 or whatever.
I think if you
Plus
walk down a street corner, they're handing out free Apple Plus. You
They
just have to
probably
look
are.
a little.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. I love this show.
and Barry liked it the least, but it got going, as we were saying.
This season, I was waiting for something to happen, and we finally got stuff to happen, and it was
you think?
freaking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to mention something, and maybe you guys have already seen it, but this is kind of tangential. But on Netflix, there's a 4-part documentary series called Challenger: The Final Flight. Have any of you seen that?
Oof.
No.
No.
It's really worth watching, especially for us people that are into the space program. But what I found really interesting and what it made me appreciate even more in For All Mankind, Sally Ride, which I didn't know, and maybe you guys know this because it's part of history. When NASA was kind of keeping under wraps what actually happened and the whole thing with the O-rings, when they were doing the inquiry and they had that board with all the different members of NASA and government or whatever, she snuck a document that had all the tolerances for the O-rings to a general who was on the committee. And in the documentary, they reenact it where he's walking down a hallway. She comes next to him, doesn't say anything, hands him a piece of paper and veers off. And he stops and reads it. And it's the O-ring tolerances. So Sally Ride was instrumental, apparently, in making sure that everybody knew what really happened. And it made me appreciate her character.
I'm not sure that's how that happened, and I'm not sure I believe that. I will say she was very vocally critical of the program.
This was a documentary. This wasn't fiction, Todd.
It was, yeah. I tell you, when they do a documentary and they dramatize something like that, I question it.
Oh, it was a Bad Robot production. J.J. Abrams, executive producer. It was
again,
I trust
worth
that.
watching.
Yeah.
In
So,
JJ we
but
trust.
what I'm saying is she was very critical of it, and I remember seeing an interview with her where she said, she wouldn't get in the shuttle at that point in the program, and that it was, and that was one of she was, like I said, she was instrumental in that inquiry.
Well, until you burst my bubble, I was very excited about her involvement in
I
helping
have
break
read
the
about
case
this
wide
intensely,
open.
Barry. It's like, but like I said, the whole idea of like simulating her handing it to somebody in the hallway just seems silly. But
Okay,
maybe
let's
this
go
is
back
better
to
than
the show.
Yeah, let's go back to the show.
Do you think that she would hold a 45 on her commanding officer?
That was a little much.
Yeah,
That's a
I'm
little
not
much.
sure.
That whole sequence was a little much, but
I
you
will
know.
also say, I mean, the woman's deceased. I kind of feel like that was a little much. Because she seemed true to her character up until then. She seemed very level-headed, very on the ball, and he was also off the rails though.
he
I
was.
mean, but he was the commander. And
True.
That whole
I also think that
situation was a little much anyway. Like I enjoyed it, but it was a little bit
It was
like
certainly tense. That's for
Yeah, it
sure.
was
There was a lot
definitely
going
tense.
on.
I would also say that I think these people are so psychologically scrutinized that guy is enough of a loose cannon that after he kidnapped the Russian on the moon, I don't think he would ever gotten back into a spacecraft.
Let alone
there's
put him in charge of the entire astronaut.
That's what I'm saying.
office.
Well,
so many
even
things
putting him in charge of
they
the
did, it
astronaut
would never
program is
happen.
basically he's the HR guy, okay, for the astronauts. But
Well, not just HR. He was deciding who was
I
going to
know
go on
that.
which
I'm
mission.
just saying, he's
Slayton. That's what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
but it's yeah. That was when I mean I like the actor a lot. That characterization he just seems perpetually a hothead, and it just seemed like
Well,
this guy
his
just would
wife
not make
literally
it through the
just
filter.
said she's cheating on him before he got into his.
All right.
Okay,
Can we
and
talk
so
about that
that's-
for a minute? Is that like, you know what your husband's job is, you know what he's about to go do, and you drop that on him then?
But you want to know something? Yeah, you do, because she's always the one, no matter what's happening, she's sitting there waiting, tense while he's doing his thing. Now, guess what? Now you got to go, and I know they designed it like this, you got to go on your thing while you're wondering what the hell she's got going on. She turned the tables on.
But what she's got going on, while she may be stressing out and all that, she's not, piloting a nuclear powered space
Oh my
shuttle.
God,
saying
guys! You're
she's
talking
right.
about the soap opera shit, okay?
Yeah,
This is what
let's
they
let's
did
skip the
wrong.
soap
But I
opera.
understand why they did it.
Okay,
right,
I want
guns
to
on
know
the moon,
why.
Todd,
I
go.
want to know why both Gordo and Tracy went out covered in duct tape when there was a dead man in a spacesuit right outside their door.
They couldn't open that
We
door.
couldn't open that door. Oh,
Not
well,
without being in duct tape.
Yeah, they could have been in duct tape, opened the door, drug them in.
I
closed
bet
the
they
door,
could
That's
have
what I'm saying.
opened it.
Yes.
Yeah,
But it was unpressurized out there. They couldn't open the door.
Right, I'm just going to say this. If I had to wrap my head in duct tape, I would want to die before I'd want to have to peel that off. Because that's going to fucking hurt.
I'm actually, I'm actually glad they both went out there, because the normal thing to do is one's got to leave behind because you got to worry about the kids, even though they're mostly grown. But you want to know, good for them. They didn't do that. They couldn't accomplish that thing. And why does the husband have to be the hero? Or you do a thing where you turn the tables in the woman's ear. They
And
both went out together
honestly,
and they
no,
died.
they
And it
were
was insane.
right.
I
No
like
one
that they did
person
that.
could have done what they did. But my
That's
other
right.
question with that is, when you know there's Russians on the moon, are you going to have the controls for the nuclear reactor on the outside of the
Outside?
station?
Well, no, it was because the controls were shot. That was the bypass.
I know.
right?
I'm just saying.
They unclipped it and it would have sent a signal.
So
I'm sure.
as long as you talk about ridiculousness, why do you make nuclear material on the moon? You're going to assemble an atomic bomb on the moon. You're not going to build it on Earth and send it there. You're going to have the astronauts enrich the plutonium, build a cart case, and assemble that whole thing in situ on the moon.
Yeah,
that was the plan.
You know why? Because if the ship blows up on the pad, freaking Florida is Cape Canaveral screwed for the next 200
And
years.
we know, just canonically in this show, we know they have seen Space 1999. Why, having seen that, would they have sent nuclear material to the moon in the first place?
I thought we were going to talk about how much we like this show.
Yeah,
We
I know.
do. Oh, I love that whole
Great
thing with
show.
Tracy and Gordo. Like, I was sad to see both of them. I'm spoiler alert, by the way. I was sad to see both of them die, but
That was
was
sad.
such an epic sequence, and the blood coming out of the spurts.
I thought
through
they were
the
going to make
duct
it.
tape.
It was
mean,
nice to
Oh,
be surprised.
I would not doubt that they wrote that scene two ways. And unless somebody had a commitment to be off the show or whatever, but I mean that because they left that so open-ended until you found out that, until you found that they were both dead.
they couldn't have them survive.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have been.
You could have had
in
either
such
one
bad
of the, you
shape.
could have had either one of them survive. The fact that they got back inside that door.
Yeah, that's sort of. I mean, they weren't anything. They could have explained it as it wasn't any life-threatening.
That's the beautiful
majorly
part
life-threatening.
about this show is they're willing to kill main characters. I mean, they killed blanked out on his name, the Mercury 7 astronaut who didn't fly until they got to go
Deke
to the moon.
Slayton?
Deke Slayton. They killed Deke Slayton,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
major character, and
And a real person.
and a
Yeah,
real
and a
person.
real
Killed
person.
what's his face? They killed the
Gene
dude
Kranz.
when
They
the
killed Gene
Gene
Kranz.
Kranz. Yeah, they killed Gene
yeah,
Kranz.
when the thing blew up.
And they've done a lot in this season, especially, and I think last season too, but more so in this season, where there were some very tense moments where I thought something bad was going to happen, and it didn't. So they brought you to the brink a bunch of times. Like even at the Soyuz docking,
That's
I
where
was waiting the
gonna
whole
be the
time
bad
for the
thing.
Russians to shoot her in the face or do something.
Oh my God, no. I thought exactly what was, and this is what I will say. I expected almost everything that was going to happen to have happened. Okay. And it was going to happen. There was a lot of these things were very foreshadowed and very predictable. I think we knew that the peacemaking moment was going to be the link up between those two ships. I think they really foreshadowed that, but it was interesting every step of the way.
But that's why I thought something bad might happen to just completely throw it off.
This is, we talked a lot about the Marvel show where it was very, very predictable. Even where this was predictable, they managed to make it suspenseful and make it very tense and make it, make you think it could go the other way at any moment. And there were still surprises in there.
Yeah, Todd, didn't you and I talk on the show about we thought the battle was going to happen simultaneously?
Oh yeah, no, we did. We totally did. There's a recorded, and then by the way, they've shaken hands in space and we're friends now, and it's like I said.
Well, here's what I actually really enjoyed about that sequence too, because we were at DEF CON whatever, and everybody was in a bomb shelter. Nobody saw the broadcast.
Yeah.
So it happened and nobody saw it. And I was actually a little surprised that, when Reagan's on Air Force One and you hear somebody say to him, Mr. President, look at the TV. It was so odd that he is the one person that saw it and was moved by it.
Except though that I don't think everybody was in a bomb shelter everywhere. But I also think that what is interesting with that though is this is not like today where everything, there was 3 channels that had news at that point.
No, I know. My point though is that moment was meant to be what unified everybody and brought everybody together. And so few people, certainly none of the main characters on the show saw it. They showed a TV in an empty room in every single house, in every single schoolroom. They made sure you knew, nobody actually saw this.
Oh, I think they meant to imply that a lot of people were missing it, but I think that people that mattered saw it because obviously it had the impact that it had. I thought that was, even though it was predictable, I thought it was very good.
It was very tense. That last episode was very tense with everything.
I want as I told you, I want a model of the Pathfinder, and I want Barry to build it for me.
If they make a kit, I'll build it for you. That was pretty cool.
It is pretty cool looking. It's basically like a totally pimped out space shuttle.
What it reminds me of quite a bit is the 1980s G.I. Joe space shuttle. Yeah, it's which I think was based on a NASA design that never got implemented.
Yeah, this has got even better lines though. It's good. Yeah. They've got it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the way the tips of the wings go up.
Yes,
and it's very
that
cool.
taper and the nose is a little longer and a little more pronounced. And I've actually been playing with this 3D program. I started with a space shuttle model and I've been trying to make it into a Pathfinder. But
I would love if they had a kit of the lunar lander truck.
God, that is so cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I would really love to see Eagle Moss do a bunch of ships from this show. There's now several they could do, and starting out with the basic ones and then move down the line. But
I don't remember. Did we talk about any of what happened with the Russians invading the base? So did we save that all for the show? Because we haven't really talked about that yet tonight.
I don't think
we did.
No.
Yeah.
No, we haven't talked about the show.
That was just, that whole sequence, I know we're going back a couple episodes now, but that whole sequence where, the Russians left and whatever, and then you're in the control room and everybody's just going about their business, and all of a sudden you see the guy in the distance, and then the next thing you know, they're shooting bullets through the window, and
that was crazy.
And then the person flies out gets pulled out through the decompression, and it was epic. That was such a great. Yeah. That was what I'd been waiting for.
That was the payoff of the soap opera episodes that we saw so much of.
I found it interesting too that like in that moment, like one guy died, and that could have been the point that the Russians backed down.
Yeah,
because
that's exactly what I thought.
I was shocked when they walked into the station.
Yeah,
me too.
But the embarrassment of the defector was going to be too much for them, and that was part of
they had to go get him.
And the fact that they were beating the commander, the U.S. commander. Like, I was a little surprised that they were in the U.S. base.
That was, yep.
It was great.
I thought it was going to be
stuff.
okay. You killed the guy. We killed the guy. Let's
it's
move
funny,
on.
Todd. Now that you mention it, what happened to the defector? I don't remember.
He went. They showed him. He stayed. He
did
was
stay.
there.
Yeah, he did stay.
Oh, okay.
Paradoxically, he was there standing there while the Russians were leaving. And, and I was like, that's dumb. Keep him hidden as long as you possibly can. It's like, yeah, but again, it was meant to be symbolic.
Yeah, if I was one of those Russians, I would not climb into that airlock with my helmet off. I saw them. No, guys, put your helmets, guys. Close the door.
Yeah,
it was really good. And then I loved the very ending too. Like they did at the end of season 1, they did a time jump to the 90s.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Which a big jump. It's 12 years now.
Yeah, with Nirvana playing in
that
the
Nirvana song was actually a perfect song for that.
Nirvana still exists in that timeline.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they're presumably on Mars now.
I'm gonna roll the dice here and give a massive prediction that boot belongs to the adopted Vietnamese daughter.
Could be
That she's in the space program and she's the first person on Mars.
Or Gordo and Tracy's son.
That's who I thought it was going to be.
That's who I think it is.
Or maybe they're both on the mission.
They are set up for
I think so
generation.
That's it. Yeah, I thought it was the son, but that's interesting. So here's the question. So it's 12 years later. Does anyone? I mean, Gordo and Tracy died, but is anyone going to be in the show still? I mean,
in fact, the show
probably got Molly, but she'll probably be blind. Or
Molly's long dead. She won't make it.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about her.
Yeah. The showrunner, and I'm blanking on his name. The guy from Star Trek.
Ron Moore.
Ron Moore said Molly is not necessarily off the show, and if she's on the show, she will be blind.
But what about what's his face, the Admiral? And I mean, could he still be on the show?
No, they rotate those guys out, but I think
no, but he was on the first season. I'm just wondering if they'll get rid of everybody.
Yeah.
Molly and Ellen and all those people. I'm curious.
Oh, I think Ellen
will probably still be there. Yeah,
she should be
she's
president.
Be in the cabinet,
Maybe
or she'll be the president, Senate, or something like that.
Yeah,
she could be president. Dave, this is a different timeline.
She could be president. You're right,
and that's why they got to the moon.
Well, that's why they went to Mars, because that was her. That was her pet project.
I meant Mars. Yeah, that'd be interesting if she's the president.
I was sorry to see Tracy go. I like Tracy.
Yeah, she was a bit of a jerk at the beginning of the show, but they really evolved her character.
Yeah, they redeemed her quite a bit.
Their relationship was awesome throughout this series. And I think that's why they decided to end it, because it was
you
so good.
Say the beginning of the show or the beginning of this season?
The season.
Okay, yes, I agree with that. I actually liked her character more in the previous season.
Right.
And
I mean, they made her, but she redeemed herself sort of by doing the right thing.
Yeah.
No, as much as there is a lot of soap opera stuff, it was a little heavy this season, but it totally works in. Yeah, into everything.
We said it the last time we talked about it. I was getting a little tired of how soap opera-y it was, but I think they probably had a budget and they had to save up for those last 2 or 3 episodes. Right. So.
And before we get away from characters, Ed, I think Ed will still be there.
That's what I meant. Ed,
he's the star of the show. I mean, it's his story. If you really watch,
maybe he'll be the administrator, and she'll be the president or something. Who the hell knows?
I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be different, I'm sure, because he's really good at turning the show on its head. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
I'm a little surprised. I mean, they renewed it for a 3rd season before the 2nd season started.
I don't know how much further they can go.
I was going to say, now we just got to hope that streaming service sticks around.
but if they're jumping 10 to 12 years at a clip, like where do they? I mean, if the show gets into the 2000s, it's not, to me, maybe not as interesting, because I like the fact that it's revising history, and if it gets caught up to modern day, then it's kind of
but maybe they're going Alpha Centauri. And they get lost.
Then it's lost in
Dr.
space.
Smith.
Even if they get to 9/11, it's still 20 years ago. That's a long time for a lot of people, Barry.
Yeah, true. Yeah, interesting. I think Apple has other businesses that could support this.
Yeah.
Don't they sell
I
other
think
stuff?
so. I think they could throw a few dollars at it and let it ride.
They make some hardware that seems to be pretty popular.
Yeah. I've heard that.
They'll paint it purple and do a press release.
That's it. Exactly.
I know.
I really like this. I do think, yes, I think they went a little heavy into the drama. But as I said before, I think they're trying to get attention. Like
it doesn't make it unwatchable. It's still still good.
I still think it's the best show on television. There's nothing better out there. Nothing I want to see more than this. And they did everything 110%. The emotion was 110%. The space stuff was 110%. The gunfights were 110%. They were all a little too much, but that's okay because it was still.
That's good. No, they need.
It was consistent like that.
Yeah.
And I have a regular Joe's connection. I've shown my For All Mankind M16 on the show a couple times.
Yes.
So I don't know if you guys noticed in the last episode when they're walking down the hallways, they had a flashlight on the M16.
Oh.
And it was the Apollo flashlight that Dave bought.
Oh, nice.
I saw, and I went out and I bought one a while ago. Of course,
I didn't catch that. That's cool.
So I, of course, strapped my Apollo flashlight.
Nice.
With the Velcro straps. And
is that how they had it on there? That's awesome.
Two Velcro straps holding the Apollo flashlight on the side of the gun.
Oh,
that makes perfect sense.
It does. If they had a flashlight, it would be that flashlight.
It would totally be that flashlight. And Velcro. Hey, where else are you going to find Velcro?
Yeah. And because Dave talked about it on the show, I had one around here. So this was a 5-minute upgrade of my gun.
There you go.
Sweet.
We need to make those guns.
Yeah, we do.
Awesome.
All right.
We're going to go to show and tell now.
Is that the $6 million man's boss?
It's Oscar Goldman.
Why do you have that?
That's worth a lot of money. That's much more valuable than Steve Austin.
Regular Joe's show and tell.
Oh, look, he's got 1 billion toys.
And it is, I guess, inspired from last week. It is something you had from your childhood. Barry, since this is your last possible thing from your childhood.
One thing left.
Why don't you go first?
I will go first. So in 1979, my parents took I would have been 12-year-old Barry to the Metropolitan Museum of Art to the King Tut exhibit. And since then, I have carried with me everywhere I've gone the book that I bought that day, which is The Treasures of Tutankhamun. It is very tattered because I have read this book 1,000,000 times and flipped through it so often as a kid. I'm surprised the binding hasn't completely worn. And it was funny. I think I was saying to you guys, I didn't tell you what the item was, but when I dug this out, knowing we were going to talk about it, I said, I wonder if these are available on eBay. And you could get a mint, beautiful condition one for like $10. So it's certainly not worth anything. But it's worth a lot to me because I have very vivid memories of going as a kid. I was very into the Egypt stuff when I was a kid. I still love it, but was so into it when I was a kid. And, very impressionable 12-year-old kid to get to see all that stuff, straight from Egypt. And this book has always kind of been there with me as a reminder. And then one of my sons had gotten into it. So I had given him this book for a while. So I kind of reclaimed this from him not that long ago.
So Dave, have you ever seen Barry with that book? Because he claims he takes it everywhere he goes.
No, I meant as a kid. I took it everywhere.
I have never seen him with that book. I think he's totally putting us on.
To your
I'm just saying everywhere I've gone from house to house.
Oh, okay. I just it was like a security blanket.
He had a Captain America shield little holder that he
had a holder for it.
Just have you seen the Tutankhamun book?
There may have been a few other things from my childhood at my parents' house, but when they were moving, I made sure I rescued this. So
that's awesome. That's
great. I've always had this book.
My father had a real estate license, and as a consequence, my mother picked out a new house about every 3 to 5 years, and there was a pretty brutal tag sale every single time. So there's very little that survives from my childhood. So most of it was stuff that was at other relatives' houses because it was just
stole back.
that I stole back. I got stuff from my grandmother's house and things like that. But yeah, my parents turned over stuff quickly. So
there will be a few things that are probably still with my parents that,
Yeah.
at some point in the very hopefully distant future, when I have to go through their things, I may pull a few other things back that are memorable to me, but they weren't things that were mine.
Yeah.
Like this was bought for me.
Yeah.
So this has always been one of my favorite things and one of the only things I still have from back then.
Yeah.
Well, Todd, you were telling your story, so when you go next?
So you can pretend at this point that I'm holding up a Batman puzzle from 1965, which I've had since like 1965. I spent 40 minutes trying to find it this evening. I know I laid hands on it like 6 months ago.
You showed it to us, I think, off show.
Okay, I think it was kind of warped, so I put it inside of a book. I cannot find the goddamn thing. So, anyways, I do have my my ID bracelet.
Oh, there it is.
So, which there's no way in hell this would close around my wrist.
That doesn't even look like it would go around.
Okay,
Three
I've had this,
fingers.
I think, since I was 8.
Wow.
And it has even has a typo on my name.
Okay. 2 D's?
Yeah,
Oh, it has
which
your
is actually-
first
it was
and
actually
second name?
this was my name before I had the second D surgically removed. And so, yes, so things from this vintage will have my my name spelled this way. But anyways, yeah, so that's what I could find. And so I don't have the box it came in, Dave, but it came in exactly that box.
If you want that box, because I don't have the bracelets, I'll give you that
it came in
box.
exactly that box because I remember like repurposing that for G.I. Joe luggage. and but yeah, so I will keep looking for, I know, like I said, drove me crazy. I've looked in basically every flat spot I have for tucking something and cannot find that poster. So, or that puzzle. So, no. Dave, what do you got?
Okay. I have like 11 things.
Of course you do.
I have 3, but I'm only going to talk about 2 because I had something that I planted, and then when I went to put the other stuff away, I found something that's even older. So, as you all know, or I do have a watch problem, and this is my first watch. And this is a different band. Actually, this is the Texas Instruments digital watch from 1977. The band had broken, and I bought new batteries and this band on eBay, not on Amazon, and it actually works.
Look at that.
Wow.
10:06 and it's 10:05 on my computer. So
That's pretty
that's the watch that started it all.
That's
Back
the
when
watch
it
you can
there.
blame your problem on.
Back when it took 2 hands to tell time.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly. But I was shocked it still worked. This thing has not had batteries in it in 40 years.
That's why it still
That's
works.
amazing. Yeah.
If it had batteries in it.
No, you want to know? Did I take? Yeah, I had to look up what battery it takes. And I'm going to do another thing. This is older than that. This, and I don't know if you guys. This is when my uncle was my dentist.
Oh God,
And
I
when you
remember
went to the
those from
dentist-
dentists. Yes.
Yeah, was it a dentist thing? When you went to dentist, you got to choose a little.
They
these
did.
little
It was a generic
erasers, these
dentist. I'm
animal-
telling you, dentist, and because we had this whole we had like a row of them, and some of us who needed more dental work than others had more of the little figures. Yeah, that was a dentist thing.
So this is sort of a knockoff Mickey Mouse, and if you know, I'm very fond of mice. I must have got this when I was 6, and this is the second one because I distinctly still remember getting it and losing it and crying for days until they took me back to the dentist to get another.
Yeah, they were pink and blue and green, and but this was the alternative to the dentist giving you candy. Okay.
Yeah.
So like this was like the thing
so
you
this
give the
is-
kid to keep him quiet, but they didn't want to give candy because it was a bad message. So that was
of
your
course.
prize.
So this is 50 years old, this thing.
Yeah.
And this has meant a lot to me. 2 things. I had a Mickey Mouse ring that I got when I went to Disney World the first time in 71 that I lost, and I don't have it anymore. I lost it and cried my eyes out over that. And then I remember we used to belong to a beach club. I remember seeing a girl wearing it. I must have lost it and she found it.
no.
And she was wearing it. I don't remember if I ever got it back from her. But this
You'd
thing.
remember.
So I looked these up. These were called Itsy Bitsies by a company called Denzer, and I just found a whole thing auctioned off, like the whole set of them. So,
And did you buy them?
no, I literally just looked tonight when I found this thing. I always knew about this thing, and it sort of pops into my head from time to time, and I wasn't sure I actually had until I found it in that box.
So I remember those being in like a clear bubble thing, and you could like reach in and pick out whichever one you wanted. You know, like a bubble gum thing. And after you were done, if you were good, you could reach in there, you could pick out whichever you wanted. And I remember,
I didn't know. I thought that was just my dentist thing.
Yep. No, I think, and I remember like wanting the blue one for some reason. And yeah.
This was, it's on Worth Point. I don't know what that is. Vintage Denier, Diener erasers. They call it itty bitties.
Yep.
And this is a picture of them. There's a clown that's horrible, a lamb.
Dave doesn't like clowns.
A fake Bugs Bunny.
Who does?
Yeah, they really look, and I can say I do remember using them as erasers. So
I never used them as erasers, but
they meant too much to Dave to use as an eraser.
Of course, I'm so happy I found.
I can't believe you still have it.
I was surprised too. Anyway,
Brian still has to go, but I need pictures of all these things, and the website's up to date, so I'll get it back. The stuff posted this week.
So much like Dave, when my parents moved out of the house, they dumped my junk drawer into a box, so I had many things to choose from. In fact, so many I was able to go all genre. So this is the first one.
Oh yes!
Wow.
Yes.
My original Callisto from.
Yep.
He was later. He was probably 69. Let's see, if a number on the back of it. 68. He was from 68. Major Man Mason's Martian friend.
Yep.
Wow.
Awesome. Brain you can see in the
top. He looks good too.
Yeah, he's got a little worn out in the back, but yeah, he's in pretty good shape.
Good thing he didn't like melt onto something else. That always
no,
happens.
yeah, I was lucky. He's and he was of course the last one I got, so he's in the best shape, right? The original matte is all black because all the white stuff's worn off. I've got him somewhere too.
Now, did you just pull him out of that box, or he's been out of that?
I pulled him out of the box today.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's great.
And I these, I got Planet of the Apes collector cards.
Oh, look at that!
Nice,
I forgot I had these till I went in the box.
Wow.
And then the piece de resistance is my very first communicator.
oh, look at that! Oh, that's fantastic! I did the same thing.
Oh wow!
That's great.
What's that made out of?
It's a Tic Tac box.
Oh my God!
No, I did a block of wood.
Lid.
I did a block of wood with a piece of cardboard and 2 tacks.
Yeah,
and then
right.
and with foil wrapped around the cardboard.
Yeah, I forgot all about this till I opened the box. Out there it was. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, we need pictures of that. That is
okay.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. So that is what I found in my.
That's awesome.
My box.
I'll even show this. I had this other thing, and I'm not sure where it's from. I know where I think it's from. This is.
Oh, sure. Yep.
It was in the box. I think this is from when I went to Disney World, and I got this in Frontierland. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yeah,
so,
there's a lot of like tourist trappy places.
And it's
that is that thing.
Oh,
so it could have been. I know there's places. I think I got one of those at like.
I didn't
Catskill
go a lot of
Farm.
places though.
Did you ever go to Catskill Game Farm?
Oh yeah, I did as a kid.
No,
that's where I think I got
never
mine.
did.
I'm pretty sure that's where I got mine.
I don't know where it's from. It could be like from Great Adventure, but I doubt it. It could be from Disney World, from Frontierland.
Yeah.
I remember my brother got the gun.
Yep.
And I'm assuming that's why I'm not really, that's not my main thing, because I don't know what it is. So anyway, but all right. That was a jam-packed show. We actually, I think,
we crammed a lot in.
Amount of time. I don't really know. I don't know what time we did. So, did anyone die this week?
Anyway, send me your pictures. For those of you who've been looking, I got behind the website again, but everything's up to date. You can see Brian's awesome rifle. You can see Yeah, pretty much everything is there. So we're up to date through
Except for
this week.
pictures I owe you, but we'll get
Except
them
for the
eventually.
pictures Barry owes me, but which is odd because Barry's the best about getting me pictures.
I usually am, but
So
you know what it was? I showed you something. It was something on my workbench that wasn't finished.
yeah.
So I don't usually take pictures, like nice pictures, until it's done. I send you guys pictures of everything I work on. But
Yeah. And Brian, now I know where you upload pictures to. So
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, so that's good. That works out fine. So we
Cool.
put them in the episode folders.
oh, okay.
And so it was like it's like I finally found this stash of Brian pictures.
I don't know if think we ever
Why
told
didn't I
you
look
probably
at
not.
it? Yep. So
No,
Todd, we're not going to make it easy for you.
no, he's
No,
no, he's
no.
been doing. He's been diligent. Everything was there. I just
It was
wasn't
there.
finding it. So
All right. So next week, probably the Bad Batch. Watch that. That starts today, Tuesday.
And
It's probably
Jupiter.
Jupiter's Legacy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to mention that in case.
No, we'll get to it.
but
And then
maybe
Invincible.
something
We're
else.
talking Invincible next week.
And we're going to talk
Whatever.
Invincible.
Todd, Dave,
Send
you can,
us a note if you're watching.
you can
it.
tune out if you want, Dave. You can go get a cup of
I'll get a
coffee.
snack.
We're going to talk about it.
Hey, just renewed
Okay.
for 2 more seasons. So
Yes.
Great. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
May the 4th be with you.